That's my identity, and that's me realizing, oh, I can bring in my identity into how I lead. Well, I would say pretty early on. I mean, my background is higher education and working in a college setting. It was clear to me in some organizations where that wasn't a value, and I felt it. And even though I was trying to share more about my family, my values, it wasn't recognized. No one ever told me, Joel, stop talking about your family or valuing family, but I could feel it because others would not talk about it, not talk about their weekends, not want to talk about their weekends because that was personal. But once I became a manager of people, the switch flipped for me, and that I could create within my unit, my team, I can share more about who I am so that others can share more about themselves. So a lot of it was from personal experience and being able, feeling like I could do that as I became more of a senior leader, right, in an organization, because I can create an environment. And for me, that was leaning into my value of community and family orientation in the way I lead. I called it amigo leadership. That's my identity, and that's me realizing, oh, I can bring in my identity into how I lead. Instead of, well, I can't talk about my family because I don't feel like I can, or I have to like just get from point A to point B and keep my head to the ground and do my work. There is value in that. But then I was also feeling at the end of the day, like, this is who I am. Like, I want to have friendship and relationship, recognizing that not everyone at work does, but at least creating opportunities so that maybe it can happen. And that starts with as easy as offering someone to go to coffee or have a meal or bring a meal into a team meeting so that we could have conversation over a meal, which I believe does break down some barriers that might exist. So when I work with clients, particularly those from underestimated communities or minoritized communities, is we talk about code switching in a frame or container of how do you feel around the balance around code switching. That could be doing an exercise around what are your salient identities and what are they and how do they show up at work? Are you comfortable with the amount of code switching you have to do, or do you leave at the end of the day feeling completely exhausted because you've had to code switch so much that it really has created this loss of identity? The question for the client then is, are you okay with that? If it's yes, then okay. How do you lean into those identities and still maintain some level of comfort of code switching? If the answer is no, I'm not comfortable with the amount of code switching I have to do, then the question becomes, what do you want to do about that? The first key for the leader is to get clear on, if they choose to do this work, get clear about who they are and how it impacts the way they lead, so they use it as a superpower and not view it as something they have to hide about themselves.